Alright everyone, welcome to the video, and for everyone who's watching this on stream, hi. Um, my name is Lights, and today we are just about to do our review, or our initial review on the game Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. Um, let's see, what are we gonna review first? We have multiple things. We have the story, we have the gameplay. Um, let's just get the story over with. Um, Yeah, we know. Well, at least not
Chaos.
chaos. Yeah, that's just it. Just chaos in capital letters. That's all the story was. I mean,
Crack.
I think it was really cool though, from my perspective, how it was basically a take on the um villain of the original Final Fantasy, and how he ended up bad. I guess I thought that was cool, but honestly, it all just seemed like a giant acid trip and chaos.
It was a crack fiend outside of 7-Eleven with some rocks, some stones, he called them, crystals. The Chaos Crystals.
Honestly,
This is a story of how I did crack.
Honestly, probably the only entertaining parts was Jack talking shit to the bosses whenever they were sitting there doing their fucking intros.
I don't give a fuck who you are.
I don't give a fuck who you are. Just jumps and tries to fucking punch him. There's also that very one moment that one moment in the beginning where what was it? Neon told him that chaos isn't real, and he says bullshit. Puts in his headphones, plays fucking mixtape, and then walks out of the fucking building. I thought that shit was hilarious. Um, Honestly, the story didn't really pick up until like 75%,
I
through
would
the
say
game.
like 85%.
Yeah,
Like we were mostly done with the game, then it was like, oh, now it makes sense.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Most of the game, it just seemed like, oh, we're gonna destroy the four crystals, and then where the fuck did they come up with this Lufinian shit? Like, they just pulled that shit out of their ass. Like at 90% of the game, we're all freaking Lufinians, and Jack is here to become Chaos because Lufinians suck. Um,
Yeah, Jack was always Chaos. What?
like, what was the purpose of Lufinians? I'm guessing there's like a bunch of documents and hidden stuff around the map.
Yeah, I'm sure if we went back through and like read the lore and stuff that we picked up, it all makes sense. But the fact that none of us actually took the time to go and read it,
I mean, I'll probably do it eventually, just eventually.
yeah.
Wait, why does it say complete every side mission?
DLC missions, Nick.
Okay.
I don't care if you're riding on top of a horse. I'm going to slay you. Sorry, just Loretta.
Yeah. Um. Anyone else got anything else about the story?
It was very It's slow okay. paced. It's very incoherent to those who are not immediate fans of the franchise. Yeah, those who haven't been following it, we don't understand. Which I think drops the rating down a solid point or two, honestly. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm pretty sure even like
Lore
before.
wise, I don't.
Mhm.
I just didn't understand it until like you literally sat there and explained what it was about, and I was like, oh, that makes slight sense.
A slight sense.
But having not like personally played the Final Fantasy games, I can't be like, oh, it's this because I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like
I've never
literally,
played them. I haven't personally liked them, like visually wise.
like
To
this.
sit down and watch a video, I'm like, I couldn't see myself playing it.
Yeah. I mean, this game's only connected to the first one, but even then, the first one was it was such a basic game because it was like a 1980s game when the first one came out.
Yeah.
Back then, like the stories were meh, and they come out with an origin story of the bad guy from number one, which I'm pretty sure 80% of the fan base hasn't played number one. I mean, number one's available on Steam right now, but I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's on Steam.
Yeah. Because they released, I think it was like the first 5. Yeah, it was the first 5 games remastered. It was like high quality pixels now on Steam, and then they just did 6. And then 7, of course, just got its full-fledged remake, but that's only for PlayStation and PC.
Yep.
Other than that, yeah, I mean, even me who knows somewhat about the Final Fantasy lore, like, when they got to the Lufinian shit at 90, like, around, like, the 90% point of the game, I sort of lost track of what the fuck was going on. Like, oh, we're all Lufinians, alright, cool, this isn't, like, the only world, you're living through this world over and over again for some fucking reason. Like, why?
Yeah, like, on an endless loop.
Yeah. Like, we didn't even, like, what's even their fucking
like,
purpose of doing that shit?
Yeah. And it's not even like they can't break it, I guess, and change the outcome, because the outcome's always the same, because they always have the same idea. Right. Oh, you know, we gotta overthrow the Lufinians. You have to become Chaos. Yeah. Oh, but like...
No, the Lufinians...
What if we don't do that,
The Lufinians didn't want him to become Chaos. Him becoming Chaos is what made the Lufinians lose control.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that like, oh, we gotta break free of this control of the Lufinians. You have to become Chaos, Jack.
I mean, what's that gonna do? They're just gonna be detached from this one world. I'm pretty sure they clearly stated that they have multiple fucking coexisting worlds.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're free from this one, but who's to say that there isn't, like, 4 or 5 more where the outcome's going to be the same no matter what?
Right. I don't know. I don't know. Jack is hilarious. That's all that mattered. The other characters, though. I mean, I like them.
I missed the dodge.
I like the side characters, but it felt like they were just there.
Had we actually played single player, I think the side characters would have made more sense.
Right.
But since we went through it co-op, it was like, oh, no, cool characters that we can play as. But then you got to the single player missions, you're like, wait, where did all of this come from? Like, you're a little lost. At least I was, I'll put it that way. I was lost. Yeah. I don't know if you were lost or if Bryce was lost, but I was definitely lost.
Right. I disliked how the 3, well, I guess, like, the 3 amigos, the 3 dudes, all just ended up in the same place and say, hey, I have a crystal, hey, I have a crystal too, we must work together. And some shit. It was like the corniest beginning.
It's because they were all dropped off by the Fenians. Were you paying attention, Nick? Goddamn.
Yes, but if that was the case, why didn't they just drop them off at different places instead of just the same place?
Because they wanted them to meet up. Even I understand that one.
I mean, did they?
Yes.
It's not confirmed. I mean...
Seems like the only logical reason.
I mean, it felt like it would have been, I don't know, easier to explain. I mean, at the beginning, what exactly was Chaos? What was Chaos doing? It was nothing. It controlled the 4 crystals. So why didn't they just send 1 to each?
Grace, touch the Grace. Fuck.
1 to each crystal. I mean, So wait, what would happen if they killed one though? If they killed off one of the so-called Warriors of Light, what would happen? Because Neon became Chaos, and they didn't do anything about it. But then again, Chaos was a previous one, so I'm guessing since they failed this world, they're sending another team who completed their world and went over. I'm probably completely wrong on that, but it's
Seems like it's the point.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of the. But you have to keep in mind too, the Luthinians created that whole world for an endless cycle. They knew something was going to happen, that, something was going to slip up, yada yada yada. It was all programmed to be that way in their little mind.
Yeah. I mean, like, and then the ending. The ending. I know there's still DLC. The last DLC for this game is alternate ending. I know that. And then Trials of the Dragon King's gonna do something. It's like, what was the point? We're gonna sit here and wait for the next set of warriors to come, so they can defeat the Luthinians. Last time I checked in Final Fantasy 1, I'm just assuming, I haven't played it. I just know some lore about it. My guess is the ending is the happy-go-lucky type of ending.
Yeah, all the bad guys defeated, happily ever after, yada yada yada.
Yeah, so what was the point of this ending?
Yeah.
I feel like there's just too many plot holes and stuff in this game. But the story, it's just not good. I just like some of the hilarious writing, but that's about it.
Like I said, the writing's fucking hilarious. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Literally, Chaos became a meme when the first trailer came out, because he said Chaos like 10 times. I don't know. Alright.
Literally within the first 5 minutes of the game, that's all they talk about is Chaos. You're like, oh, I wonder who we're gonna have to go after,
I must kill
I wonder
Chaos.
who the enemy is. Oh. Couldn't be this guy named Chaos, could it? No.
Honestly, Jack was so, brain dead that he didn't even think for a second that he could be Chaos if he was the only one feeling chaos.
Yeah.
I don't know. Alright. The missions. What do y'all think about the missions?
It kind of got repetitive after a while.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a cool mission. You gotta go do this, this, this. Oh, cool. I've never done this before. Very next mission. Hey, you know that mission you did 3 missions ago? Yeah, you're doing it again, but this time the difficulty's slightly harder.
Are you talking about the Cornelia crap?
But not even that. Just overall.
Yeah, the side missions just being a repeat of the main missions.
Yeah, here's this big bad boss. Okay, cool. We killed him. What now? Oh, we're giving you this side quest. Okay, what do I do with this side quest? You go kill that boss again, but he's dead. No, he's not.
Yeah. It's sort of just what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
I like the main missions. I do like the different environments in the main missions. Again, I just didn't like the side quests sort of repeating.
Have the side quests not repeated. I think it would be cool missions.
Right.
Fun, enjoy. I had a blast doing the missions. Up until we started having, doing them solo, I started getting absolutely demolished.
Yeah.
Just because the simple fact that there were too many classes.
Yeah, and you're so focused on leveling each one up. I mean, even then, it felt like the difficulty spike just kept getting higher for each main mission. Because it'll be
yeah, it just
55,
would
55 one level and then 60 something the next. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, what?
And you have to think, We were only on action mode. That's a normal difficulty. We haven't done
Yeah,
hard
that was
chaos.
normal. Like, with the fucking final boss, like the final cutscene in that for the solo missions, I couldn't do it.
I think it's meant to be solo up to that point.
I think
Like, I
you were.
think what they encourage you to do is play it solo first time through. That's what they want you to do, pretty much. Because
Yeah,
when we did it co-op, the difficulty scaled immensely.
I definitely feel like we were supposed to play it single
Yeah.
for your first playthrough, and then add, friends and stuff as you go along. Whereas we just went straight in, oh hey guys, let's do this. Yeah, like that kind of owned us a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where it was, how do I put this? Just enough that going into single player seemed easy at first, and then like you would get your ass kicked and be like, okay, what the hell? At least that's how I felt, at least. Like, single player, or the multiplayer, I was doing fine, And then, like, difficulties. Oh god, I forgot these freaking.
Yeah. They said too many difficulty spikes.
Yeah.
And like I just hate how it tosses those little missions. Like if you're gonna do that, then just make the whole game single player. I mean,
Yeah.
what else? I think that's really about it for the missions. I did like the boss rush mission that we just did. The boss rushes were I thought were fun. But I felt like it would have been a lot
Yeah,
better.
I
if,
enjoyed the boss rush.
yeah.
Had they, like, said, hey, this is a boss rush, be prepared. Not just like, oh, you're getting thrown into it, have fun.
Right.
Some type of
The
warning would have been
names of
nice.
the missions are very inconcise.
Yeah.
They don't make sense half the time.
No.
The only one that actually really made sense was, oh, Temple of Chaos. Man, I wonder what's gonna be there.
Chaos.
Let's see what else. The skill tree. Well, not the skill. Yeah, basically the skill tree and the different job classes.
Yeah,
I
there was too many.
don't know. I felt like if they added this many, they shouldn't have just branched them off. They should just had each individual one. You know?
Yeah.
Like I that was a cool concept of branching them off, but since there's so many, it's like, yeah, I don't know. And even though they kept branching off, like you had to get 2 or more classes sort of maxed or half max just to get an expert class, you know?
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, I have an expert class, and then it's like, oh, hey, there's another level after that.
It's a lot. There's too much. I did like all the classes though. I did like the variety. I just think they should have had them out each individually right there instead of having to branch off to unlock another one.
Yeah. Oh my fucking god.
Let's see what else.
Sorry, I'm sitting here complaining about Melania Blade of Nicola.
Right. Bryce, any comment on the skill tree?
Skill trees, there's
too much.
no reason to branch out in other skill trees half the time, because I mean, to complete one skill tree, I don't know. It just feels like there's not an insane amount of variety in like the same type of skill tree. So there's like a red section, green section, blue section. There's not an insane amount of variety in each of those sections.
Let me take a look.
I don't know.
Let's see. In the expert, there's only I think there's like two red ones. There's Breaker and Dark Knight, and then it's Paladin and Liberator for orange. Then Tyrant and Sage for blue. And then it's
And even then, you still knew what the classes were gonna bring to the table already at that point. Like, oh, the red class is better for breaking their stances, or the green is just, like you knew what they were already.
yeah.
So you knew which one was the best option to go with.
Oh yeah. One thing I did I was sort of disappointed in was the Sage class. How it didn't bring over the revive from White Mage when Sage is literally a combination between Black Mage and White Mage.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Like, granted, they did give Sage Ultima, but I didn't use Ultima once. Like, I don't know. Consumes 3 white emblems and 3 black emblems when activated. Yeah, I didn't know. Oh. Okay, that actually, I think I know what it's talking about. You have to charge up white 3 times. Then, while you're still charging, switch over to black and charge that 3 times. And then you'll be able to use Ultima. But the whole time you're holding Y. Okay. Okay, I think I finally just got that. Still.
But I said, I can hear your brain clicking as you're reading through stuff. I'm like, oh, Nick's getting it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you can just hear my brain turning off.
Yeah, you can hear mine and Bryce's. Well, mainly your brain, Bryce, because I'm sitting here fucking. No more Scarlet Ion, yeah.
Yeah, for me, my brain's kind of turned off for the day, man. Enough business meetings, enough bullshit. I'm just tired.
What else?
Oh, God, I got Scarlet Rotted and didn't even realize.
Alright, the boss fights.
Cheesable. Very cheesable.
Very fun, though.
They were
Fun,
when they were done
cheesable.
right, they were fun.
I think after, well, TMI, once we got to TMI, it was really difficult the first time.
Yeah.
When we got to the Lich, the dark spooky bitch, we glitched that out the first try.
Somehow.
That was an accident.
I say
We really didn't have control over that one.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, somehow we did.
Then, by the time we got to the fire crystal, we had Bryce had Breaker already, and he was one-shotting everything.
What even was the fire crystal?
It was like a tall fire snake-like bitch with swords.
Huh?
Yeah, we haven't lost to her. We didn't lose to her once.
Ah, that bitch. Oh.
Yeah.
That one where I actually didn't go down at all.
Yeah, she was honestly a piece of cake. Then there was the water
I have
dude.
like an over.
What's up?
Interesting. I will say his was an interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed the water guys.
Yeah. The water boss fight, the water crystal boss fight was a lot of fun. In all honesty, he was very fast and nimble, so it was sort of hard for us to like charge up attacks as we were fighting.
Yeah.
It required strategy, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I'm not
I
gonna
wouldn't
get
even
into
necessarily say strategy.
Yeah, it was just it was interesting. What was after
Yeah.
that? What's the elf dude? I keep forgetting his name.
Astos.
Astos. his boss fight was very underwhelming. Um,
It was. I don't know how to put it. It was. We'll say that it was.
you know,
It was a boss fight. Yeah.
for him to transform into the quote-unquote Ultima weapon, he was very easy to defeat. I feel like he should have had more like AoE attacks, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
All the side bosses were interesting, except for Iron Giant. Iron Giant just destroyed your break gauge. You couldn't do a thing about it.
Other than struggling, I will say the final boss was interesting.
Oh yeah, the final boss was fun. He had so many attacks, but once you got the hang of it and knew what you could block, voice crack, and knew
Yeah,
what you could block,
what you could, what you couldn't.
yeah. And again,
Like,
like
that's really what it came down to, is what can I dodge? What can I use against him? Like,
right,
there was a lot of strategy behind the final boss.
yeah. And for some reason, he became easier in his second phase.
Yeah.
Like you saw that I put in almost no effort. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I did put in some effort. I was trying my best not to die, but
I put in almost no effort, Nick. Don't fuck with us like that.
he he was very easy to cheese. I just spammed Dia the whole time. Every time I got the mana for it, so
Yeah.
it wasn't difficult at all. But again, those solo missions in Cornelia, those had to be the hardest part.
Don't get me started on those, Nick.
The, those were terrible. Anything on bosses, Bryce?
What's up?
Anything on bosses?
Some bosses were good because they gave openings but had very powerful attacks. Some bosses were just bullshit. I mean, they
You're
were
already
too
doing fucking
fast.
waterfowl. Okay.
They were too fast. You'd have to try and keep up with them because they'd be sprinting across the arena the entire fight. And they weren't a challenge because they had challenging abilities, but more of because they were insanely fast and had zero wind up time for their abilities.
Right.
So at some point you'd have to play like Monster Hunter style, where you just have to get a hit in, back up, immediately dodge or try to block, and then just wait to get another hit in. I felt like Mage is a little bit too powerful because of that. Mage can just farm its mana off of holding B whenever an enemy goes for magic attack, and then just continually use abilities at range. I feel like Mage is a very powerful role compared to other roles because of that. So
Yeah.
I feel like definitely some bosses were absolutely stupid easy or stupid hard. There was a good in between, like with Tiamat. Tiamat was a good in between where it had openings, but man, did it make you work for the finish.
Yeah, like
You had to make use of the openings or else you'd fall behind.
yeah.
And also, I think Tiamat was an amazing boss because it taught you resource management. You had to understand that in boss fights, you actually had to conserve or use resources at the right time. If you just kept running at them and trying to hold right bumper while spamming potions, that's not going to work. You had to learn, wow, I need to use my potions to res my teammates, and I needed to learn how to, buff each other, heal, just play it smart, just know when to attack or when not to attack.
Yeah.
You don't just hold the up stick and then just hold right bumper and hope for the best. So I think there were good bosses like Tiamat or the water boss, but then there were some shitty bosses where it's just you just you thought they were bullshit but you didn't think they were fun at all. Like
Yeah.
Like the Iron Giant.
The Iron
God.
Giant, I think, was actually fun. Like I don't know. It really
Let's go.
depends. The problem was is that he would insta break your break gauge and have a 4-hit combo, but
Yeah.
I think that one's kind of like more of a case of the Elden Ring boss type where it's predictable, but it's challenging. Like you gotta have good timing and you have to have good blocking skills. Meanwhile, there's some bosses where it's just like they're zooming around the map like Goku, and
And you don't know when to fucking attack them.
you just can't predict where they're gonna move or what they're gonna do. Those are the bullshit bosses,
Right.
Yeah.
where they're too fast for you to even get a hit in, so they can hit you twice before you can even swing once. So basically, melee characters are doomed, and mage characters succeed. It's pretty much where it is.
Yeah. You had to know when to do it, when to retreat, when to heal, when to attack, when to use your charge abilities. Like you had to know it to a like down to the fucking.
Which you could argue that's a skill-based issue, but at the same time, we're playing on the normal difficulty and getting one-shotted by
Yeah.
bosses.
Yeah. But again, that
If that,
also leads to the us being under level, and for the difficult spike constantly rising each main mission. I think that's
I
where
know.
the main issue is.
I
with the game.
remember like
I thought we were over-leveled at some point, though.
Yeah, in the beginning.
early game we were early leveled, but like for the first like 3-4 missions, yeah, we were over leveled. Cool, fun. The second we started getting further ahead, we're like, okay, you know, I noticed, oh, you guys were up to scale. Meanwhile, I'm still like 6 levels behind. I can't catch up.
Right. I mean, the only reason why me and Bryce got past the Cornelia missions was because we were both using broken classes.
Yeah.
We were.
You were using Breaker, I was using Sage. Bryce would one-shot everyone, and I would just tornado everything into a corner. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think overall, half the bosses were really fun. The other half are just bullshit easy or bullshit.
Stupid broken.
Yeah.
Stupid easy or stupid broken. No in between.
No, I think Tiamat was the in-between.
Tiamat was the in between. I will say that. I will agree with you on that. Tiamat was the in between. Other than that, though, there was nothing. It was either way too easy or way too difficult.
Yeah. Alright, and then we're gonna talk about the gameplay in general, aka the skills, the MP, the break gauge, everything like that. The enemies.
Maybe it's just because the game isn't made, for like my taste. But you guys might be more used to having all those abilities, skills, all that stuff at your disposal at like a 1, 2, 3, 4 type of setup. You know what I'm talking about? Like for
No, I am
MMORPGs
not
or whatever.
fucking used to. Nick is used to it because he's fucking been with the franchise forever.
I just don't like how cluttered my UI is and how it's a mess.
Yeah.
I felt like it was such a mess. There's too many abilities. I feel like at some point they got to make it short, sweet, and simple. It's just too cluttered and it's too messy.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's just going to get worse the more the games come out.
Was it games in general or JRPGs?
Fucking JRPGs in general. Like, they want to add more stuff. They want to do this for the UIs and that, but here we are. We're already concerned about the cluttered. Just gonna get worse unless if they fix it or do something about it.
I think this is where it was just Square Enix's first Souls-like, Souls-esque type game. Not gonna say Souls-like, but Souls-esque type game, where they're just trying to figure out where to put everything. Because like if you looked at what's a good example? Kingdom Hearts. It literally just has a small 4-bar UI on the left with attack, magic, items, and then your summon, and there you go. It's all there in that little four
Yeah.
bar at the bottom left. Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy usually does have the same thing. It has the 4-bar system. You click attack, you're gonna attack. You click magic, it gives you all your options for your magic. But by then, you instantly know where it's at, and you can go down and click it.
What I'm hearing is it was just kind of the fact that we were new to the fucking franchise.
Right. I mean,
Like,
yeah.
had we been like you and stuck with the franchise, known about it, stuff like that, we would have been fine.
I mean,
or
even
Better off, let's put it that way.
even with the most recent Final Fantasy game, 15 just had on the bottom left corner your 4 weapons that you can swap between mid-fight, and then the team attack bar on the top left of it. That's about it. I think it was just where they were trying to put so much into the gameplay that was just too much, in all honesty. I honestly just think it was this game in general, because I can send you pictures of like different JRPG UIs and what's there, and it's not actually cluttered. It's just this game. This game, they just cluttered it. What else? But yeah, I will have to agree with Bryce. It just felt like it was so cluttered, and most of the shit that was there wasn't used. Like the Lightbringer stuff. Like we didn't use that at all. I mean, did any of you? Yeah, the command abilities. We didn't.
I used it for like 1 or 2 fights, like the zombie dragon fight. I'd argue it was useful.
Yeah, there was like a couple fights where it would have been helpful, but I didn't use it. Seemed like a waste of my time.
Yeah. I feel like the MP gauge was balanced. We couldn't just spam abilities. So for us to actually get our abilities back, we have to deal basic attack damage to it.
Yeah.
So I thought the MP gauge was fine. I feel like the break gauge. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about the break gauge, I think the break gauge was fine. I definitely went down faster when you used the soul block, or whatever it's called, instead of the normal block.
Yeah.
Any comments on the MP gauge and the break gauge?
Break gauge was too low.
I didn't have a problem with the break gauge, in all honesty. I thought it was fine. You just had to use the soul charge for a split second, like right before the attack hits you. It was all about timing for me. And then whenever you go for another attack, I would either hit it quick enough, or I would dodge roll out of it, and my invincibility frames would be there. I don't know. I never had a problem with the break gauge. Again,
Did I just get fucking baited?
But again, I think that's just because where I've played so many in JRPGs, I'm used to invincibility frames, and I'm used to, I guess, more action-oriented combat situations.
Yeah.
I'm more used to those kinds of games. That's not even JRPGs, just RPGs in general. I'm more used to that sort of style. Where you both aren't. Bryce is more of first-person shooter bullshit, and then you're starting to get into everything, Connor. You're starting to. I mean, hell, you're playing freaking Souls-like games, so you should be getting used to invincibility.
You weren't supposed to tell.
You should be getting used to invincibility frames by now. Well, at least starting to see them.
Yeah, I'm realizing more now. Hey, you gotta look for the frames, you gotta memorize the patterns, you gotta pick stuff out. It's not just, oh, go in there, attack, die.
Yeah.
And then why did I die? Oh, I didn't do this, or I needed to be careful of this, you know.
Yeah, and you also have to like
Yeah.
sit there and memorize the enemy's movements, the boss's movements. You know, what attack are they going to use when they do this movement or when they move to the side? You
Yeah.
sit there and start memorizing. Which I can see why Bryce would have a terrible time with that because he's so used to playing multiplayer games where the enemy is always another player, so it's not really predictable on what they're going to do. So, unless the enemy player does make it very predictable, and they just keep using the same thing over and over again. Which eventually your brain will lead to you trying to figure out different solutions to figure out the issue, and then you'll just figure it out. Or you're a dumb dummy, you just keep running in doing the same thing, and the same outcome will happen over and over again. But anyways,
Me on my first playthrough.
I fucking hate this Bellona, dude. She just fucking styled on me so hard. Dude, why is Bellona so fucking strong in the solo lane? Nerf. Jesus Christ, Death's Toll so good.
I think Bryce was holding that in until I finished talking.
I'm just
Oh, yeah.
constantly being ganked.
He's like, I want to hear him complain about my Smite game, but he's too busy talking about his review.
Meanwhile, there was me in the middle of the review. Fucking Melania, Blade of Mikola.
I'm just getting stomped by Death's Toll Bellona because Death's Toll is so much sustain.
Death's Toll. Favorite
And everyone's stealing my farm. Because fuck me.
What about the casual enemies? What was your opinion on the casual enemies?
Nah, fuck Dawn. Whatever the fuck the thing is, Dawnbarrow. Or Dawnberry. Fuck that thing.
It's like
The
fuck
Tonberry. Oh my god, the Tonberries.
And I felt like it was sort of hilarious and fun at the same time fighting the Tonberries, because he would just immediately just one-shot you.
It was interesting until you like look away for 3 seconds, then all your health's gone. You're like, wait, are we fighting something? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he
like,
would use
oh,
he would use that one-shot move, and if that one-shot move didn't kill you, he would then stab you, and then you would die. With a chef
there was
knife.
no in between. It was either he did all of your HP at once, or he did no HP. Like there was no in between. All or nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like the Tonberry is a gambling man, you know.
What else is there?
I'm all in, you know.
Let's see. What the weapons? What was your opinion on the different weapons?
Katanas were very broken.
Yeah.
There is
Like,
such a
in my
thing as too
opinion-
much variety.
Yeah, there was way too much variety. I will agree with that, Bryce. Especially just for like one class, you had like 5 different things you could choose from. Especially getting further in like your advanced class or your expert classes, you know. Oh, hey, here's a expert class. Okay, cool. I'm gonna stick with this weapon. Oh, sorry, that weapon's not available anymore. You have to use one of these 4 weapon classes that you've never even like heard of before. Like, but I want to use this. That's not an option.
Achilles, why are you so fucking bad, dude?
I mean, there were only eight different weapon classes.
Even then, those weapon classes still had so much variety in them. Like, here's a giant longsword, or that does, you know, natural fire damage, or here's a short sword that does fucking, I don't know, frost or something, you know, just little things that made the weapons different.
Right.
Or like, hey, I know you just got this level 80 sword and all, but like, here's a level 92 that does 30% less damage than you were doing before.
Yeah, that is true.
And it's like, but it's a higher level, it should do more. No, it does 30% less. Suck it up, deal with it. I don't care.
I feel like they should have more uniques or at least uniques in the game.
Something that made it more rewarding to actually pick up everything.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna make me pick up everything, make it worth my time. Not just, oh, hey, here's, again, a sword that does increased damage, but only against this singular enemy twice that you'll see in the game.
Right. Like, the Cactars. I wish the Cactars would've gave, like, 10 times better loot or some shit. The little cactus fuckers that ran around.
Yeah. Yeah, like, from what you told, like, would tell us mid-game, they were better in the older ones?
They were more of a threat in the actual games. Because, again, one of their moves is called 1,000 Needles, and it literally does 1,000 damage to your character.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it probably did in this, but I feel like our HP was... Our HP was weird. I couldn't tell if it was really high or really low. Yeah, 1,936, but I felt like it didn't do enough damage. The Cactars didn't. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, like, I wish what they did with the weapons is, like, they'll only drop for classes that you've actually played.
Yeah. Like, I was getting weapons for, like... I ended up deciding, Paladin, Breaker. Cool, they're both pretty powerful, I enjoy it. But here I am, at the end of the game, getting stuff for Liberator. Like, I don't play Liberator. I don't enjoy the aspect of Liberator. Give me stuff for the, class I want to play. I don't want to have to go back and replay missions because you don't give me the stuff I want.
Right.
Which I feel like that's what it would boil down to in order to get the loot that I would want. Is, oh, go replay the missions. Well, I don't want to do that. Like, oh, I gotta play through this 30-minute mission because I didn't get the one drop I wanted. It just doesn't seem... I can't say it doesn't seem balanced because it is. But it's also not in a way, I guess.
Like, it is, but it feels like it isn't at times. But we know it is because we sit here and we think in our head, okay, yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So it is balanced. It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like the break gauge. Like the break gauge itself. It's balanced, but it's also bullshit.
But
at
it's
times.
bullshit. Like, oh, your break gauge broke. You can't attack. Why can't I? Like, your gauge is broken. Okay, what does my gauge have to do with my attack?
Right. Like, if I get hit and get knocked down, I understand. Well, I mean, I guess that's why, it's there. Because if you're broken, then you're going to be, incapacitated for, like, 2 seconds. So the enemy will get a hit on you. And you should have done better conserving your break gauge.
But when an enemy just straight up completely breaks it in a singular hit and you can't react, then what are you supposed to do?
React faster. Watch the movements. Learn the boss's movements so you won't break your break gauge. Or absorb it with a mana shield. It's literally you just have to get good with it.
I was saying, like more in the aspect of how we were co-op, like, if you would be attacking, the boss or whatever, and I'm trying to revive Bryce, and it just swings and does a whole entire AoE that I don't notice. And it would break my gauge even though I'm not near it.
Right.
Like, that didn't seem fair to me personally. Like, yeah, I get, like, what you're trying to say of, you know, just learn the attack. Well, someone reviving, they get hit by it, but they're, like, halfway across the map. How are they supposed to know that, hey, this attack's coming?
I guess, but again, like, I guess that's the point of it being a third-person game. You're running around. Well, that's why we have the icon. We have the icon there on the side to show you where your person is, because you're gonna look at them for a split second, saying, "All right, I know where they're at, so I'm gonna run towards that direction, lock onto the enemy, just to see where an attack's happening." Because unlike other games, this game takes 2 seconds to revive someone. Not even. So you have the
Yeah.
chance to sit there, click the button, and run, dodge roll, or whatever when the enemy's attacking. Where if it was a game where
Yeah,
it
like,
did take like 10 seconds to revive, then yes, I would understand.
I got that later into the game, but, like, towards the start, I was like, why can't I do this? You know, why is it doing so much when I'm nowhere near them?
Right.
Whereas you had to constantly be in that mentality of, oh, hey, this is how it's going to happen. Be ready for it, or else you're going to die trying to revive your buddy.
Yeah.
I slowly realized that the further we got into the game. But, like, at the start, I was like, why am I breaking so fast?
Right.
But then there was also the cases where I felt some classes were overpowered at the start because I'm like, man, I'm breaking them so fast. So looking back, realizing, hey, it's kind of a counterpoint to, yeah, you can break them fast, but they can also break you just as fast.
Exactly. But like initially at the start when you were using pugilist and you were just knocking
Yeah,
everything into a corner, and you were and that mindset you were thinking I'm overpowered. But once an enemy finally
yeah,
hits you,
I'm pretty
it's like,
broken, and then I got hit. It was like, oh, they're not I'm not as powerful as I think I am because they're just weaker enemies at the start.
right. Essentially pugilist class, like you're literally the definition of a glass cannon.
Yeah, like, dealing all that damage, I was like, yeah, cool. I like this. And then I got hit, and I was like, there goes all of my HP. Like, granted, there was the armor in that you could wear, but even then I was like, I'm still dying in like 4 hits.
Right.
Whereas you guys were up there fighting, tanking 9 or 10 hits before you had to back off. Whereas I was taking 1 or 2 and I was done.
Part of it was also when the game first released, they had no available option to upgrade your equipment's level or its armor. So you'd be stuck with whatever level or armor the equipment dropped on.
Yeah.
So
Yes, but you were able to level up the effects of the armor as well. Because
the
Yeah,
effects
you were.
were all very passive abilities. Like they weren't like major effects like defense or attack.
And it was still something.
right. But then again, like, it would get rid of the looting system if you would just have one set of armor and then just upgrade. Yeah, one set of armor that you liked and just upgrade it through the whole game. That's
Would they not
Yeah.
add bin now though?
No.
Yeah.
I think it's only the.
You haven't gone to the smithy, have you?
I'd say give me a second. It's only the red ones, I'm pretty sure.
No, any level.
And if there is, it's gonna take a fuck ton of upgrade equipment level.
Takes a decent amount of anima shards.
Anima crystals, which we don't get until late game.
No, you can use anima shards.
Yeah, you can use shards and do shards into crystals.
Oh, okay. I've seen what's going on. No, after a certain level, it turns into anima crystals.
Yeah.
Well,
But like, I noticed the habit of some of my classes. I was like, okay, yeah, this armor set is very like good for this class. It has a good modifier, like percentage-wise. I just can't use it because it's like a level like 90 something. Whereas the rest of my stuff is in the 120s, 130s, you know.
right.
I was just like, I can't use that.
But here's the thing with anima shards though. Because you're gonna either do one or two things. You're either gonna upgrade a set of gear the whole way with you, or you're gonna use it to upgrade your trees.
Yeah. Which I found myself upgrading the trees more rather than armor because I'm like, I'm just gonna get better armor in the next level anyway. There's no use of wasting my shards on armor that I can just get better next level.
Right. It's like I'm gonna get overpowered weapons and armor anyways, or something to keep me up to level the next mission.
Yeah.
Also, the last weapon we got, the Shaza blade, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's a new rarity. It's darker.
It's an artifact rarity. They added it in after the game, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
But again, it would be pointless to like start your game off. You know, you get your first set of actual armor from the first mission, and then just level that up all the way, because it wouldn't go with the affinity with your tree. Because you didn't start getting the expert class affinity stuff until later on. Which affinity is also
Yeah, like
important
really later on.
Yeah, and the affinity is important because it also buffs your class and your stats.
Yeah. Which was, once again, the problem I would run into, you know, I'm this class, but I'm only getting armor for this class in this mission.
Right. But I did think it was nice to where, like, let's say you're running Swordsman, and you equip Breaker stuff, you level up both Swordsman and Breaker. Because you're wearing
Yeah,
Breaker
I
armor.
did enjoy that. I did enjoy that.
So,
It was very nice to have that.
So, I mean, theoretically, you can level up like 10 different freaking classes at the same time. It'll just be very slow progression.
Yeah.
Alright. Multiplayer wise, I think it has better multiplayer than Elden Ring.
Anything is better multiplayer than Elden Ring.
Except for Skyrim.
And honest.
I mean, modders are gonna hopefully add it in soon.
What'd you say, Connor?
I said honestly, though.
Yeah. Alright. Overall thoughts. Bryce, you go first, because I know you're going to sit there and... say
Honestly, My brain's shut off right now, so I mean, I'll just keep it short and sweet. I'd say it's a 5 to 4 out of 10. Shitty story, decent gameplay, but little to no actual UI. Um, I mean, just honestly, disappointing game from an amazing team.
Yeah.
I
mean,
feel like they always make usual AAA titles that are amazing, but this one just missed the mark, you know? It just wasn't it.
wait, have you played any other Square Enix games?
I've watched people play them, and I've seen gameplay, and from what I've seen, I mean, they oftentimes have good quality and they're pretty good. The story's a little bit hard to follow, but I mean, there's always 40-minute videos on how to catch up on it.
That's all Square Enix games. The story's always sort of a head scratcher.
But from all Square Enix games I've ever seen or played, they've always had good gameplay. This one was decent gameplay, but kind of fell off the mark with a lot of key aspects. So I'd say it's a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. All right, Connor.
Seeing as it's the first Final Fantasy game I've ever played, I wasn't too, you know, I can't even say like disappointed because I was slightly disappointed. More like, man, I'm trying to find the words. It's just the words aren't here. So I'm just gonna do this. It was like maybe 5,
5.
6 out of 10. 5 to 6.
Alright. Let's see. Overall, with the story was shit. It wasn't good. But again, a lot of the dialogue was hilarious. Um, even though all the characters seem kind of basic, I thought that Jack was a great MC for this kind of game. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I thought Jack was a great MC.
Yeah, he really fit it for this game.
Yeah, I
He
could,
was the only decent character, in my opinion. Just. Yeah. Yeah. That. Fucking Jed was a meme midway through the game just because of how much of a fuckboy BTS fan he was. I don't even remember the other character's name, if that says anything about him. He's
Ash.
so forgettable. They named him
Yeah.
Ash after the color of his skin, clearly. I mean, they're clearly racist, so I mean, I don't know what to say there.
I think.
Um,
Wait. Which one's Ash? Hold on. Ash.
it's the black guy.
Ash was the yeah.
Those were clearly
You
racist.
can't,
Yeah.
you can't say that. I'm getting banned off YouTube. Yeah,
No,
yeah. Ash
I'm
was
trying
the,
to find the word.
Ash was the dark skinned dude. There we
The
go.
devs were clearly racist.
Yeah.
I expect nothing less from Japan.
God damn it for me. Now he's gonna get banned in Japan.
Damn, bro, Nintendo about to copyright strike him. The worst thing. I don't even remember the other two characters. You have skinny girl with not bikini.
Neon.
What's the one
You're
thing?
thinking of Neon.
Sailor uniform. You know,
Neon.
the obligatory sailor
Neon.
uniform.
Neon.
Clearly, just going for Japanese fetishes. I don't know. Like, did she really need a sailor uniform? No.
She didn't have, yeah, I don't know. I mean, out
She
of
did have a sailor uniform.
out of all 4 of the side characters, Neon honestly had to be my favorite because she had the most
Oh jeez, that's a
expression.
magma worm. Oh, magma worm.
Neon had the most expression and actual emotion in her conversations, where Ash, Jed, and Sophia just sounded like dead weight. They were just there.
That was her name, Sophia. Oh shit. Sophia, I mean, I don't know why they animated her to look like she was mid-50s, but they made her look so middle-aged. I mean, I was pretty sure midway through the fight she was gonna start yelling, "Stop! Stop! No! No! No!" Like she's gonna be one of those middle-aged moms who, whenever you see like a World Star fight, they just want to make themselves feel known, so they'll just scream that stuff constantly, even if it's not gonna do anything. I'm not the only one who's ever seen those videos of like those fights where it's just like this woman's just screaming, "No! No! Stop! Stop!"
I don't know.
And it's just
Yeah.
not doing anything.
I don't know. Sophia was never like that though. She was more like a Robin from One Piece. She gave me more of that vibe. She was more of like calm, collected, sort of intelligent, but they just pulled her character off wrong. And they brought her in halfway through the game. Like at the second Chris, they brought her in
Yeah.
halfway through. It's like, what's the point? Why is she being introduced now?
Like, is she supposed to be who's the second crystal boss again? Like the water one?
No, that was the Earth one. The one that we
What was the
cheat.
Earth one?
The one that we glitched out. It was like a lich. It was like undead. He was summoning like skeletons and stuff.
I don't know. Okay.
It was a lich, yeah.
Like, dog, was she the lich or something? I mean, where'd she come from?
No. I think she was Tiamat. I think she came from Tiamat. Yeah,
She came from
She-
Tiamat.
She came from Tiamat.
Neon came from Black Knight. She came from Tiamat. Okay.
But I think overall, Jack was a really good MC, and Neon had to be my favorite out of the side characters. Because again, she had the most character out of all of them, in my opinion.
I don't know. She kind of seemed really whiny.
Dude, Neon?
Yeah.
I don't know, she wasn't really whining, she was sort of just questioning everything, questioning decisions. And if she wasn't questioning decisions,
Yeah.
she was just going along with everything. But again, I'm pretty sure she had the most dialogue out of the four. No, that was
Like
Jet.
Whenever she spoke, it always seemed like she was like, "Oh my gosh, Jack, you're such an idiot. Why do you think chaos still exists? You're wrong."
It was literally like, that was just the first conversation. Neon was just like, chaos doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. And then,
Yeah.
Jack pulls out the
Damn,
MP3
bro,
player. and says,
gaslighting Jack. Gaslighting Jack. Jack already has
Bullshit.
enough problems dealing with his drug withdrawals. He clearly needs more of his crystal. I mean, he's got enough problems to be dealing with. Now he needs to go smoke some Newports and throw on some Air Force Ones. Come on now.
Yeah, gameplay. I honestly really enjoyed the gameplay. What else? I don't know. There weren't like really any like flashy combos that Square Enix usually has, or just really flashy moves. Everything just seemed kind of basic. I did like Arrow. Arrow looked really cool, which is a giant tornado and it picked everything up and threw people across the room. Yeah, gameplay wise, I really did like the gameplay. Story wise, it was crap. Characters wise, Jack was really the only good thing.
Yep.
Honestly, looking at other Final Fantasy games, because the last one I played was 8, and that was turn-based. That was back when Final Fantasy did their turn-based stuff, and I love that a lot more than this. What was it? And I played like the first 5 minutes of 13, which a lot of people are saying is the worst one. And I actually enjoyed those first 5 minutes more than this game. Because honestly, literally the first 5 minutes consisted of a dude with an afro with a chocobo in his head, and then the MC's little sister getting proposed to with a necklace. But for some reason, I found that more enjoyable than this game.
Kind of sounds like pedophilia.
They were all 18. Well, I hope they were 18.
You know, I'm gonna
Japan's
wait
age
until
of consent's
after
15,
we're done with
so
this
I mean,
review.
they probably didn't give a damn.
I was gonna wait till after to say that, Bryce.
I mean,
Japan's age of consent is 15, so I guess they probably don't care.
But yeah, if I enjoyed 13 more than if I enjoyed the first 5 minutes of 13 more than I liked this, then honestly, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with 5 out of 10. If I'd rate the story and the gameplay separately, I'd say the story would be a 2, and then the gameplay would just be like a 9, like a solid 9. There are a couple flaws, but I don't think they're actually really affecting the gameplay itself. Not too bad.
It's a dragon.
So yeah, I honestly have to give it a 5 out of 10 as well. Like, I liked it. No, I'll give it a 6. I can say that I liked this game, but I didn't like it a lot. It was there.
It existed. That's where it is on my scale. Like, it existed.
It's there.
It's a game. I'll give it that. It's a game.
Honestly, if it
That's all you're getting from me. It's a game.
honestly, the gameplay is making me give it a 6 instead of just a 5. I really enjoyed the gameplay. I really enjoyed it being a multiplayer experience, because I feel like solo would have been a big pain in the butt, and it wouldn't have felt.
What do you
that
mean
great.
would have been? It was.
Yeah, well, a lot more pain in the butt than what it actually is now. But yeah, definitely the 6 out of 10. What did I give Minecraft the other night? Did I also give Minecraft
I think you gave that a fucking 3 out of 10. You did not enjoy Minecraft at all.
No, Minecraft.
Minecraft Dungeons was a little bit worse because it had zero variety to it.
No, I give that a 4. I give Minecraft Dungeons a 4. So definitely like this game
How
more
did
than
I said
I
you
like
gave
Minecraft
it
Dungeons.
low.
At least this game had variety with its maps, its enemies, stuff like that. Minecraft Dungeons had zero variety, and it kind of didn't have much to work with in the first place for variety, because you got zombies, skeletons, spiders, you got endermen, blazes. You can't really work too much with different mobs and different varieties unless you want to make stuff up on the spot and fundamentally change the Minecraft lore or just what Minecraft is about. So
Yeah.
they kind of
they
had a creative
basically
bind.
kind of did.
They did, but that's only with the DLC. The initial base game, though, the initial base campaign, there wasn't much to it. Anyways, I need to call it here. I need to go to sleep. I gotta get up early, so peace.
Later.
Yeah.
Alright, I think that's gonna be it for the review. You heard all our scores on this. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna finish the DLC and everything off screen. I did pay for that DLC. I am gonna play it. But yeah, what we're gonna
I
play
did,
next,
yeah.
we are honestly still deciding. I know we're gonna be doing
Probably, hopefully, Terraria.
hopefully Terraria if we can get a lot of people together, because that's what we're trying to do. If we're gonna do Terraria again, I do want a lot of people involved in it, not just us 3.
Yeah. And I don't want to rush through it either.
No, I don't want to rush through it.
Bryce.
But yeah, hopefully it's Terraria. If it's not Terraria, my money might be on Diablo. Diablo 3.
It's between Terraria and Diablo right now.
Yeah. But yeah. That's everything.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed the video, definitely like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see all our gameplay footage and what we've experienced with these games, I'd stream it on Twitch. I'm putting the link down below in the video, so if you ever want to follow and see us go through these experiences, definitely hit that link and follow us on Twitch. And yeah. That's it. I'm terrible at these outros. I'll get them. I'll get better at them. I'll write it down. I'll try to do.
We'll figure it out. I promise.
I'll figure it out. And yeah, I'll
If
see you
he
guys.
doesn't, then yeah.
I'll see you guys on the next review.